Good Friday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, SUVs, and a dog, Kiefer. Wow, it's Friday morning. It's what's going on? I don't think it's Friday morning. What is going on in my life where it's like I thought I had 4 days of video conversations, and I'm totally befuddled this morning. Hey, good morning there, folks that watch my channel. It's challenging. This is extremely challenging to do videos every day of my life and to keep the content going and to manage the video storage. I mean, it's beyond unbelievable. Nobody really knows. I'm not complaining. I'm just sharing with you that the constant content that I bring to the channel, trying to manage this phone with all this content is extremely challenging because I run out of storage space every day. So, but for me, I swore I had a trade conversation on my YouTube channel. So for me, I'm totally befuddled this morning. I thought that I talked about the light conversations on Monday because it was the solar eclipse. Then Tuesday, I thought we talked about trade. Wednesday, I thought it was questions. Thursday was answers. And so, but I'm not seeing the trade conversations. So am I just like, I'm losing it? Probably am. I mean, it's just, oh my God. Oh, yeah. So here we are. It's a Friday, rainy Friday morning, humidor, kind of warm. And the adventures continue on as I try to smoke out the birds. For the most part, it's working because my cars aren't getting trashed. And if you watched my video a year ago at this time, you'd said walk into the shop and the cars were just trashed. Everything. So the smoker is working, but it's a lot of work. Maintaining that fire and maintaining that smoker is extremely challenging. To get it to smoke right versus just burning. Oh, it's the Iceman crying the blues this morning. Not really. I'm just trying to share with you that it's just befuddling for me because I do so much video content, which, yeah, if you watch my channel, I make videos every day and borderline all day, every day. And it's just, wow. Once again, anybody on my channel, be sure to reach out to me and say, yeah, you did the trade conversation. Where is that video? I'm not seeing it. But whatever. So what is going on with me? What are we going to talk about? So here's the thing. I thought, this idea popped in my head this morning when I heard that O.J. Simpson passed. And what's the irony? What's the odds? The odds. Here's Kiefer wanting to, literally go after Ginger. It just doesn't end. We're going to have the trainer come over to our house, and she's going to start interacting with Kiefer and Ginger because he's just too aggressive, and it's really becoming a problem. So she's going to come over, and she's going to use a shock collar and the tingling type of collar, and she's really going to start trying to stop this domination. So for you're not going to do this because he gets older. He's a male dog. It's a female girl. And he just isn't good. Come on, Ginger. And I'm going to do like yesterday. Come here, boy. Ball. And I'm going to keep him down here with me because he's just too reckless upstairs. Hey, looky here. I'm going to get a ball. Come here. Ball time. No. See, I left the door open. Should have never done that. That was a big mistake, leaving my door open in my office because he's going to run upstairs. Oh, don't you just love being an Iceman? And that's the thing. That my videos are kind of long. Hey, no, you're not going up there. You're not going up there. No. Nope. Come on, Ginger. Get up here. Nope. Do the back kick. All right. Jesus Christ. It ain't easy being Iceman. It's interesting. I'll get back to O.J. Simpson here in a second. But it's interesting how I reached out on people's thoughts about my videos being too long. And one of my good subscribers, he made a good point. He said, you should make a 20-minute video and then make another 20-minute video. But you know what? I like to do what I do, and I'm just going to kind of continue to do what I do. If the channel explodes one day, great. If it doesn't, oh well, whatever. But here's the point of that conversation. Cletus McFarland has an hour and 13-minute video, and he has like 1 million views. I mean, so if it's about how long my videos are too long, I mean, I get it. This guy has incredible content that draws in people to watch his stuff because he has the money and he's got the whole facility to make things. If you know who he is, you get that conversation. So let's go back to O.J. Simpson. So for O.J. Simpson, here I was talking about him just the other day about escape. I had the escape conversations, and I said, what pops in your head of the #1 car chase escape in history of this country? And it was O.J. Simpson and Al Collins, I guess his name is, that was driving O.J. Simpson in the white Bronco, because O.J. Simpson was going to commit suicide, kill himself, because of the police wanting to capture him for the killing of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. So if you're a person that was knowledgeable back in 1994, you know what's going on. If you were a very, very young person, you probably don't really relate with it. But for most people on my channel, I'm sure everybody can remember the great O.J. Simpson chase, and they're in Los Angeles, California. Apparently 95 million people watch that. But here's the point of that. I thought to myself this morning, color. I never have had the color conversation. And if you look around at all these different cars and trucks and motorcycles, all of them have color. And I thought to myself, that's a great conversation, because what lures you in to buy a car? What color is it? So forth, so on. But at the same time, I thought it's just ironic that I talked about O.J. Simpson here last week. And then even in the car show this past Sunday, Steve, my good friend, was there, who takes all the photography pictures. We were talking, and I brought up the same conversation. Because he's got an OJ Bronco. If you're a person that has that model year Bronco that's white, then you're going to be known as the OJ guy, because that was such a notorious. It was the car chase of the century, basically, for all of us here in our country. So he's at the OJ Bronco. Even when people were ordering the new Broncos, the running joke was, if you buy a white Bronco, you're buying the OJ Bronco. So, and O.J. Simpson, he was a favorite for so many in our country. I still got the flag going backwards. I know, what a disgrace, right? Call the police. Yeah. So, or the FBI. Yeah, I hear you. It's just projects. Rip something off. But part of me is like, I'd like to do it just to see who comes up to me and goes, hey, dude, you got your flag on backwards. Yeah. And so, anyways, for O.J. Simpson, I can still remember that whole ordeal, because I talked about it last week, about how I was with my first wife. We were at some nice fancy inn, hotel, eating dinner, and I swear it was in West Virginia. Was it the Greenbrier? It could have been the Greenbrier. I'm just trying to remember. I just can't keep track. And so I still remember that the TV breaking news, and as everybody stops eating dinner in this nice, high-end restaurant, and everybody's now glued to the television and watching the television with the O.J. Simpson chase. And then I talked about it last week as well. I'll never forget my mother's best friends, Bob Crow and Sue Crow. They came down to visit with my parents, and they spent the whole week watching the final trial of O.J. Simpson. So it was classic. And my mother and father invite their good friends down. I think they were living in Michigan at that time, I think. I may be wrong on that. And so this is October, if I remember right, October of 1995 is when the jury came to conclusion of if O.J. Simpson would be guilty or innocent. And for those that aren't so abreast of this, I'll just give you a little short overview. O.J. Simpson married Nicole Brown Simpson, or Nicole Brown, what I don't know what her other former name was. Isn't that something? But anyways, so he had 2 children with her, and he had a very abusive relationship with her, apparently. And then one night he went back to their house, but I guess he no longer lived in the house because she got separation papers or whatever. And he found her there with another man named Ron Goldman, who apparently was like a waiter or something at a restaurant. And the story is, on one side of the equation in the world is, on one color of the world, O.J. Simpson brutally stabbed and killed his wife and this man, Ron Goldman. The other side of the equation, the other color of the world, people aren't so sure that happened because of the color. As you know, color is a strong word in our society, in our country, because you have the white versus the black. So that's that can be a very touchy subject in some ways. But we basically had a division from the whites and the blacks on what they thought really happened or really what didn't happen. And for the Los Angeles Police Department, they had such a record of not being the most nicest people with the black community. They really had a bad record of doing devious things to the black community. So there was a very tense moment in our country because you had two totally different views from one color to another color of what seemed fair and right on how the trial would be, how OJ would be treated. And so, and then those that are very expressed, if the gloves don't fit, acquit. Was that the lawyer? Trying to think of the guys. I think the guy played in Jerry Seinfeld series. A lot of people became very well known and successful. A lot of publicity. The Kardashian. I think Kris Kardashian's first husband, was the key attorney in that. So I'm sure there are people that I'm talking right now can relate with everything I'm talking. But here's the thing. The point of that is, it's the color. It's our color that drives us in society, and how, unfortunately, it's divided us in our society, which is just an ongoing challenge throughout our country and throughout, I'm sure, in many aspects, the world as well. So, kind of leaving it at that. That's why I came up with the word color this morning, is because O.J. Simpson passed and apparently died from cancer. And I just think it's weird on how I just talked about O.J. Simpson. Because remember, I'm the kid of the 70s growing up. So, the 60s kid, the 70s. And O.J. Simpson was very famous at that time for being the number one running back for the Buffalo Bills. Heisman Trophy winner, Hertz rental car spokesman, actor. He was a loved guy. The country loved that guy because he just had that personality that people really liked, and he was an incredible athlete. Only, sadly, in the end, for it just to become, for him, a very sad life for so many reasons. And people know all about that. So, okay, so enough about O.J. Simpson. So here's the thing. Which car color do you think is the most popular? And sincerely, until I looked it up, I didn't even know. I thought black was, to be sincere with you. But the most popular color is white. And I guess in some ways, you could say so many of if you think about all the police departments, government workers, contracting companies, it seems like white is a very common color. And if you live in the hotter areas and regions, white, my wife is so smart because she brought this, she said this to me years ago. It's like, you're always trying to go down to Florida, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why do you want all these dark colored cars? Because down in Florida, you just burn up. And my dad will tell you sincerely, many years ago, he bought a really dark blue, kind of like my Ranger 37 Cadillac down there in Florida. That was back in the mid-90s. And he would tell me this day, from the time he left Sarasota, where he worked, to get back to Tampa, it would be like an hour drive. And it took close to an hour for that car to really start to cool down because it was just all so dark. So owning a lighter color in a hotter environment with a lot of sun, lighter color cars are really to your advantage. And the darker cars are extremely hot. They really are. And then you have the black interior. So here's the thing. So the white car outdoes the black car, but the black car is in second. But I'm going to read down the list here in a little bit about the different colors and how they're looked at. But for us, that has like this car here. When I saw this plum crazy Charger in Dulles Dodge, I instantly just like, wow, I love that color. I love that package. I love that look, to the point that I traded out our smoke show for this car, only to buy it back, only to trade it for that over there, which it just doesn't, it's just incredible. And how the car stories of what I had that turned into that, which then turned into that. But the point is, that drew my eye, that I just love this package. Now, some people, they'll think, oh my gosh, that purple car is just hideous. I didn't get all that. This silver dually, I've always kind of wanted a silver dually. And I don't think I've had any silver dualies. I may have had one. I just can't, I have to think that through a little bit. I go back to the 90s. But I don't think I have. And so even, what's interesting is like 2 years ago, I was looking at buying a Ford F450, and I really wanted a silver one, but Derek, my sales guy, persuaded me to go for the black. And one of the reasons that I liked the black truck over the silver was the color interior. And that's the next thing too, that when you go look at a car, what's the flavor of the car? And I talked about this with this Corvette here. This has one of my favorite color interiors. I really like this brown, I call it the peanut butter look interior, but I think the contrast of that interior with the paint in the black, I think it just gives this car a really, really nice look. So if this car had the black interior, I'm not so sure I've been as excited about it. Does it mean I wouldn't have bought it? I'm not saying that, but this color interior just really is one of my favorites for me. And I've had them in my Hellcats, my Chargers, when I've actually ordered cars. And so that the black F450 truck I bought, it had like a reddish brown color interior. And it just really appealed to me. And so I bought that over the silver color vehicle. But here's one thing that just befuddles me, is that all the cars are just always, it's a consistent black colored interior. I mean, wouldn't this been neater if this maybe had more of a silver look maybe or something? Or, I mean, the red, that would be kind of extravagant. The demonic interior that you can get for the Hellcats, that's a very popular rare color combination, which I think that's pretty cool. Would that be pretty cool if that car there had a demonic interior? That would be such the 70s. Demonic is like a red, burgundy, really cool color interior. But that would have been a very unique, really kind of like the Jailbreak personality. If you don't know what the Jailbreak is, Dodge came out with the last year run on the Mopar, Charger, and Challenger, where you could personally build your car with crazy colors. And I'm really surprised that not many people got that crazy. So it was kind of very, in some ways, exciting, but for the most part, I didn't really see a lot of crazy combinations. So people did the crazy wheel colors, crazy paint theme, or a crazy interior color. So once again, this car here, if this had a demonic interior, this really would have been a very unique, rare color combination on this car. And here's this color here, that the Gold Rush, that's what they call it. That's just such a 70s color. It reminds me of being in California and seeing that color as a young, just a very young person. And so I just love that color. But some people will be like, man, that's a mustard, it's a pea green. I just don't like that. But back to the interiors, it's always the black color interior. I mean, it's like, why wouldn't you guys go? So here, this is cool because it has some blue, has a blue personality. So the Vapor Blue, but it's dark. It's very dark. And what I've noticed over the years, like I had a Toyota FJ Cruiser. I had a few of those. And the Toyota FJ Cruiser, I always felt so dark in that vehicle. It was always such a dark environment. This Ford Bronco is the same problem. Because of the removable roof on these Bronco, there's no overhead interior light when you get in the vehicle. It's over the rear view mirrors. I'm pretty sure my car's locked. Oh, it's open. Hey, there you go, right? So that's not good, is it? So when you open this car up, here's the lighting. There's no lighting back there. Some people put in their own little LED light strips in these cars to get you more light, to get more of that experience of being lighter. But this car is so dark. So when you ride around in it, it's the closet syndrome, and it's because you're just so dark. And in some ways, the darkness kind of sometimes makes you depressed. I mean, everybody knows if you go for many days of overcast and it's just rainy and gloomy, it makes you don't feel good about yourself. You need that sunshine that makes you feel happier. And that's why I say it's just befuddling that so many manufacturers put in the most common colors, black. But I understand that because black doesn't show the dirt. So there's one, I mean, I think that's probably the most common reason that black color interiors are the most dominant, because it just doesn't show all your dirt and debris as easily as, I guess you'd say, a white interior. Who's ever owned like a white interior? Well, on my Jeep Grand Wagoneer down here in front of the house, one of the things that really appealed to me in that car is it has that very light color interior. So if that car had the black interior, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer I walk by every day and walk out the door, if it had a black interior, I don't think I would have bought that car. It just didn't have that pizzazz. I love the color of my wife's Jeep Grand Cherokee. It has that peanut butter type of brownish, same color as this Corvette right here. interior. I just love that color. It gives you energy. And that's the thing. These colors, so like this car here to me, this Corvette, it is such a good looking car. I think the color combination, so if this was all black, I agree it'd be a really good looking car. But this color to me just really stands out and just really does appeal to me, that it just has the right type of excitement. The car looks exciting. The car looks badass. The car looks like it's borderline a race car. You go to here to the Camaro, and yeah, the black, I mean, this is definitely a nice color, but I really wanted a red one. If I could have had a red Camaro Z28, because that's what I had my eye on back in 2015. I much would have rather had a red one. But the black's great, but the black shows so much imperfections that it's just it's just so bad. But it's a great looking car. This is such a fun car. And then I thought to myself, when you go to the different brands of manufacturing, so what pops in your head when you think of a Ford product, a Chevy product, a Mopar product? Well, if you're the bow tie person, my daughter didn't even know that. She didn't understand what the bow tie was. Like, if you dress up in a tuxedo, you have a bow tie. And so Chevrolet has always been called the bow tie boys because it has the tuxedo bow tie look. But if you think about Chevrolet, the gold bow tie is the most common dominant color of the Chevrolet brand. If you look at Ford, it's the blue oval. So for Ford, if you walk out front here to my Ford F-150 race truck, which my daughter just loves and borderline would give that up for the Ram TRX. And I hope everybody watched my give back to my cancer friend. If you haven't, you should. I spent a lot of time yesterday of going and taking care of a great friend of mine that had cancer, and he's always wanted to barbecue things, and I tried to help him the best I can to get him going and barbecuing off his he has a Ram truck and a nice little trailer and barbecue I bought from him. So, but here's the blue Ford Oval. So the Ford brand has always been known as the blue. For the Mopar product, I don't know. Is it red? For me, for the Dodge, it just seems like the little red. Remember the little red Express Dodge truck back in the late 70s that had like the smokestack on them, if I remember right, like the step-side red truck. That was such a cool truck, if I'm remembering correctly. But is Dodge more of the red? I think it is. When you go to the motorcycle brand, when you think of Harley Davidson, what's the most common theme of Harley Davidson? It's the orange and black. That's Harley Davidson's true iconic colors from their true beginnings of what colors they picked. You look at Honda is red. If you look at, when I was growing up, Yamaha at the time was yellow. Suzuki motorcycles were yellow. Kawasaki was green. And you just think to yourself, who came up with the idea of what makes sense to really brand your product? Like John Deere. John Deere is green. My favorite color growing up was orange because of a Kubota. I always wanted a Kubota tractor, and then my favorite color was orange, even though today I had my run with so many Kubota tractors, I burned myself out, and I'm now a John Deere guy. But once again, it's the color. So we relate with brand recognition of color. Like my Ice HCV, I like the red and black background for the theme of my channel. You see here? So, and this is my original sticker. So a lot of my YouTubers, Mr. Sanchez, he thinks this is the better sticker. Which it is. It's a nice sticker, but I like this where it kind of explains what I am. And those started deteriorating so quickly when I had them on my cars. So I'm just trying to think of other manufacturers out there of what's their color, and then you think to yourself about like the red. Why do they have red accent in a Z28? Does the red mean it's fast? Once again, here's the Chevrolet with this like gold emblem of the Chevrolet bow tie. So what is it about the red? The red makes you feel like you're fast. Is that the idea? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. And then look at the top. The convertible, what could have been a different color top? I really don't know, but I think that's a perfect color combination with the black, which I just so. This car is so nice, and I've barely driven it. You know, I just have so many things on my agenda of taking care of my business, which is challenging. It is challenging. Just for those here who watch my channel, you don't see that aspect. I'm just not going to disclose every single thing I do with every bit of my life, even though I borderline I do. But yeah, the splitter, yeah, it's just never ending. You know, I spent the day yesterday. If you really watch my channel, that turned into a 4-hour. Hey, get out of there! What do you got? I don't know what you're doing in there. Yeah, don't be doing that. Don't get out of there. Where's all your balls? I bought all these freaking new rubber balls that won't, you know, have any problems, and they're all freaking gone. I bought 6 of them. They're gone. I have no idea where they are. It's just, oh my gosh. And those kind of keep him happy. They're little rubber, like spiky balls that he can't destroy. I just bought 6 of them and had them delivered not even a week ago, and they're all gone. And that keeps him content. And when I pull cars out, all the balls that disappear are underneath these cars. That's what actually happens. So anyway, so for like yesterday, I spent a good part of my day just tracking down a trailer and getting my friend Bob, who lives in West Virginia, which is basically an hour from here. So there was a lot of work, a lot of time, and but I did that because I want to give back, and that's the goal for I think most people in our life want to give back, right? I mean, don't you kind of feel that way? So. Man, but yeah, I'm sure some people are like, yeah, right, Mr. Iceman. So you look at the what changed from like the 70s. So back in the 70s, the chrome appearance was such the dominant like wheels. You remember the Cragar wheels? The chrome look. And it really wasn't, I guess, in my opinion, it really wasn't until the 80s and 90s that the black kind of became more of the look and theme and style of vehicles. And now you come to present date, I mean, look, for the most part, every vehicle I have has a blacked out wheel. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer is like the only vehicle that even has like a polished chrome appearance to it. So the most dominant color for the tires and wheels, you know, the wheels, is the black. And then you go to the calipers. And so Koons Baltimore Ford, they did the customization on this truck that just looked like a regular Ford truck, and they went out of their way and they painted the calipers blue, and then they did the F-150 in the front, the grille, and they repainted the bumpers and they lowered it. And then I got this idea to get a Coyote. This was my own idea. I created the Coyote, which LA Tint made for me, and then I put the rear spoiler on it and the exhaust note. This is just a really fun truck. And one person was saying, where the heck is the Whipple supercharger? Well, I called Lethal Performance the other day, and he put me on hold forever. He called Whipple, and he claims that my supercharger will be shipped this month. So that was per Lethal Performance, but they felt it would probably be at the end of the month. So once again, I did call Lethal Performance about my Whipple supercharger for the project, which I think will be exciting. What's really cool is the guy that did the suspension lowering on my other Mustang GT, really cool guy. He knows my YouTube channel. He's at Koons Baltimore Ford, and he's the guy I want to do the Whipple supercharger. He's a real motorhead, and I have the trust and belief that he'll do that job right. And then my good friend Dennis is now managing the service department because the key guy that used to be there is no longer there. And so I hope Dennis can give me some loving when it comes down to the project on that car. So if you look at the colors, look at my driveway. And I really haven't even done this, to be very honest with you. Black, 1 black, 2 black. In so many ways, black, 3, dark color. There's a dark color, 4 for the Lightning. The Wagoneer, that's 5. And then you have, the Ram 1500, that's 6. And then you have the Camaro, that's 7. So for the most part, I have like 7. If we take away the Raptor being a dark blue, I guess we have 6. What do you have? 6 dark or black vehicles, which I never even counted that. White, one of my neighbors that used to live up the street here, he says for many years I had a lot of white vehicles because I had company trucks. So I had just a whole line of white trucks. And one day he was out in the street here walking, and we kind of stopped and chatted, and he goes, I don't get it. You have all these different cars, but they're all white. He's like, why don't you change it up, man? Why don't you get some different color cars? And I'm like, yeah, I really haven't focused on that. His name's Dave Perry. And so anyways, so now on the light color, well, it's the whites. You got 1, 2, 3 is the Ford F4. So you have 3 whites. Silver, I think I only have 1. Well, yeah, we have 1 silver. Only 1 plum crazy. The blues. So I've got a mixture here. The gray. This is a very, to me, when this first came out, who didn't think this was just a primer gray? The primer gray. I mean, did anybody really get excited about that? But what's really, I think, interesting is the Zura gray Bronco, but the Vapor Blue Mustang. In so many ways, those look like the same color to me. So for the most part, I think I have 3 Azura gray Ford products or 3 Vapor Blue products. It's interesting, some people will reach out my channel from videos that I made like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and they see my Mustangs and they like, wow, I watch your channel. I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to get this color. Now, TJ, I don't know if TJ's listening to me this morning, but I met a guy yesterday at Costco getting gas. I mean, no lie, these 2 gentlemen pulled up to get gas, and I could tell that they were excited about my truck, especially one guy. One guy, really tall guy, like a big basketball player. But the one guy comes literally rushing up to my truck as I'm sitting there in line to get fuel. And he's like, I want this truck. I want this truck. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday. But, I mean, he just loves the way this truck looks, which, yes, I know, the way the body lines, if you look at the bulbous, I mean, so what do you think looks better, though? Does the Ford Raptor, and I never really have challenged myself on this, but I'd be curious, forget the performance, because you now get the Raptor R, which I'm going to tell you straight up, if I can get a Raptor R one day, I'm going to get a Raptor R one day. That thing is so badass. But here's the thing. Which has the better look? Does this Ram truck, which I think this thing is pretty badass. I mean, I really do. Now, the Raptor truck, I love the Raptor truck, but I've seen this same look for so many years. I've had this Raptor since 2017, off and on. But what's really interesting, yesterday I came down back roads because the main road out here was all locked down. And I was uploading videos, so I couldn't do a video at that time. I should have grabbed my iPhone to make a video. But I was going down the back roads. And so when you get on these dirt back roads and they have all these ripple effects in them, that's what separates, to me, the real off-road vehicle versus the one that thinks it can be an off-road and it's not. So as an example, I've had these Jeep Wranglers for so many years, but I've had the Toyota Pro 4Runner as well, and I've driven some back roads where the back roads are potholes, uneven, ripples, and I never forget one year I was in the back roads in that Tiki Jeep Wrangler I was talking about the other day, and we went, or it's maybe on my silver one, but I went down this back road and I went through a corner and we about went off the road because the solid axles just couldn't handle the ripples, and the Wrangler became uncontrollable. It was very, very dangerous. I just about crashed. Then I would drive my 4Runner down that same road. Oh my gosh, that thing just ate everything up, and it was so confident. So what's kind of interesting to me is I got to take my Raptor down that same road and kind of experience the same thing. I think the Raptor has a better suspension. I really do. And I think a lot of people probably agree with that. The Ram's just a little bit more stiff because this thing did a lot of jumping around. I was very surprised that this thing didn't really, in my views, handle a little better. But now I didn't set it to like the Baja mode or anything like that. So, but I don't know. It's all debatable. But this is a lot of truck. I mean, the one thing about this truck is it's just so much material. It's a huge truck. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just, but here are my YouTube subscribers. Which looks beefier, badass? Which would you take? Forget the motors. I'm talking about the looks. Which would you take? Would you be more excited about that or this? But let me just share something with you, because I think it's important that you get to see the interior of these two vehicles, and that may also lure you into what you may think makes you happy. I can't just find anything to do. This is crazy. So my door, this is so stupid. So sorry for the delay. Can't get in. So it's just never ending in my YouTube channel, right? But I just try to keep people entertained, and that's the goal here. As my dog thinks that I'm gonna do something here, which I'm not. And it gets slow. You can take your coffee break, right? For everybody out there, you take your coffee break as I sit here and try to figure out what I did with what. I mean, it just doesn't end, man. You're in my shop, keeping everything in order. And we really didn't talk a lot about the motorcycles per se, because I'm just enjoying talking about the cars. I really need a water. I don't know why. It just doesn't end. Right? As everybody continues to watch my YouTube channel, and it gets into the 35-minute mark on your screen there. So I really do appreciate everybody out there being so nice, complimenting me on my trying to give back. So here's the Ram truck. So it's a typical black interior. But when you look at this interior, if you look at this interior and you see the quality, and there's one person, which I don't disagree, this suede will always be kind of a challenge for, you know, because of everything in it. But if you look at this interior and how it's set up, the steering wheel, I mean, to me, it's very high end. It's very nice, stitched. It's just very quality. I've always liked the Ram and Jeep. I've always liked the Mopar products. It just seems like on the Charger and Challenger, yeah, but it just seems like in the Jeep, those interiors are so nice. So now we come up here to the Raptor, and this has the blue themed interior, so which is pretty cool. So what would you rather get into? Is this more? But in some ways, you know, I think like the shifter doesn't look that great. So in some ways, this looks a little cheesier, even though the blue accents, I think, gives it some character. But if you look at the controls, it just doesn't seem as high end as the Ram product. So I think the Ram wins. I think the Ram, in general, is going to probably, in some ways, win. But at the same time, the Ford Raptor with the 37 tire package is just a really nice truck. So yeah, somebody out there watching my channel, if you want to weigh in your comments, say, hey, Mr. Iceman, I would take the Ram TRX, or no, I really like the Ford product. And the thing about the Ram TRX, which is pretty cool, there's not many out there. You do not see, which I like that. That's what's really cool about this product. It's the Raptor. The Raptors are everywhere. I mean, why? The Raptors have been around for so long. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And the Ram TRX, I tell people a story. I was telling TJ yesterday that this truck was like 88 grand new 2 years ago. Now it's basically 125 grand. And he's like, why? I'm like, right, why? I said, the greed conversations, right? All right, let's get up here to the office and continue moving. I'm gonna get my gate opener out of my pocket. Oh, here's the Stop and Go tire repair kit that I finally got. So for anybody there on my channel watching me, and my friend Chris is getting his Road Glide today out there at Skyline Harley. So it'll be he wants me to go out there. I'm supposed to go do a job today, but it's raining. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't feel like being in the mud. So anyways, so my friend Chris, I told you yesterday, he traded out his Breakout for the brand new 24 Road Glide. And so it was supposed to come in next week, but it came in early. It came in a week early. So he's going to go out there today and get the deal done, but he's going to probably ride. But I told him, man, I'd have Skyline Harley come pick up your Breakout and deliver your Road Glide, because we're supposed to have rain throughout the day, but we're also supposed to have high winds. Oh, gosh. I thought I got rid of that damn thing. So yesterday, he tears that thing to shreds. It just doesn't end, man. Okay, so what he does is he tears that thing apart. Now, hey, Keith, no, here, boy, look, here you go. No, get this here. Oh my gosh. It's like raising a kid. Stop it. Leave it alone. No. Go play something else. See, it tears the whole damn thing apart. Oh man, it's challenging, dude. Very challenging. Most challenging dog I've ever owned. I ain't lying. And I've had a lot of dogs. If anybody ever asked me to get a German Shepherd, I'd be like, I would not get a German Shepherd. They're just so high strung, man. I'm sure some people out there have some that are older that have calmed down, and then okay, but I have to say the first 2-3 years you're gonna be like, what I get myself into. I think a lot of people give them up personally. I really do. My mother-in-law did. My mother-in-law, when she was very young, with my wife, they had a German Shepherd, and she actually donated to the, I don't know, it was the police department. I think it was. And I was like, because she just, I know, she couldn't, it's too much. So, yeah, so then the color, right? What color dog? What's your favorite color dog? So, I have not been watching news. I really have not. I mean, who wants to watch the news? What comes? One thing that just, to me, is beyond believable where we're going to take society. You get all these news media personalities, and all they do is mouth off all day long. What comes from it? I mean, sincerely, these media personalities that make millions of dollars to sit there and mouth off of their unhappiness, of who's in the office, whatever's going on. What do they ever do? What did they ever accomplish? Nothing. They don't accomplish anything. Besides you just getting all riled up and mad and just believing views and ideas. I mean, it's so bad. X, same thing. People just are on there just mouthing off and crying all day long. Dude, it's just wham, 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 wham. And then the YouTuber channels, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, it's beyond believable of what's going on right now in the YouTube community of the end. I thought about having a video called End, because right now, the amount of people on the YouTube content, it's beyond believable of what's going on. So I'm going to show you right here. I just like to share with others what I see, if I can get this thing to work. So look here. I'm going to turn around and let you see what I see when I go to my YouTube. And this is what pops up. This guy, Dan the Man, predicts every day of his life how this whole country is going to be in doom and gloom. That's his content. And he had 37,000 views. Here's a son and father. It's over. I've heard these guys for the last 2 years talk about how it's over. But that's a color. What drives people to, here's a guy scared. Dealerships are scared. I wish salespeople that work at car dealerships would reach out to me and say this is correct information. That this guy here, he tells doom and gloom every day. How many views has he had? 27,000 views in 15 hours. So on my channel, I'll get 100, 200, 300, depending on my morning conversations, hits. But these other guys that, they're done. This guy every day, this guy posts about it's over. The car market's over. So he got 89,000 views. And he has a 15-minute video. So these guys know how to, people are like, you need to get thumbnails. Hey, Iceman, get thumbnails. So, I mean, it's just, wow, right? I mean, I'll bore you with just me showing other people's videos, but it just intrigues me that it's the color. What's the color? Is your color the doom and gloom? Is that what makes you happy every day? I mean, sincerely, is that what drives you to get out of bed every day? Is the cloud is over your head? I mean, sincerely, and sadly, this is factual. People like to have a cloud over their head and just go around disgruntled, upset, mad. And that isn't how you create success. So anyways, that's it. I'm going to shut the heck up because I talk a lot. What is, what's happening next? I don't know. Do I go out to my friend Chris and do some video time out there at Skyline Harley and show him getting his new Blue Burst Road Glide 2024. I'm out riding. I'm not going to ride out there. I already told you. We're supposed to have up to 45-mile-an-hour gusts. If you're on a motorcycle and you've ever ridden in the wind, it's the worst. That's what I was telling my friend Chris. Why don't you just tell the dealership to bring their truck out and pick up your bike and then just deliver your bike back? Because it's just, I don't think the conditions are going to be very good for you to ride home. Just concerned for his well-being. All right, that's it, everybody. Hey, as always, thanks so much for subscribing. And as always, reach out for an Ice Age TV sticker and Ice Age TV comments, and share the channel. Help the channel grow. And because I think we all can be rewarded if we can help it grow and get bigger and make something from it. I'll be more than happy to give back, to make things fair. And that's the way I am in life. I give back. I really do. So, everybody, thanks so much. God bless. Have a great day. Stay safe and stay tuned for more video.